Boxing fans, hold on to your seats. There's a lot of buzz about a potential Teofimo Lopez vs Devin Haney showdown, but Teofimo himself has come forward to squash the rumors, calling the whole thing false news. While many fans were hyped at the thought of these two young fighters clashing in the ring, Teofimo says he's not negotiating with Haney and has no plans to make that fight happen. Instead, he's eyeing a fight with the legendary Terence Crawford in 2025, a bold statement that has stirred up even more curiosity. With Lopez aiming for Crawford, a fighter widely recognized as one of the best pound for pound, and Haney focused on bouncing back after his recent loss to Ryan Garcia, this news has stirred up boxing circles. Lopez may be betting on the ultimate upset, while Haney is looking to secure his place as a top contender. The idea of Lopez fighting Crawford seems like a huge leap, given Teofimo's recent mixed performances, but if Lopez pulls it off, it could be the shock of the year. Meanwhile, Haney is in a delicate spot, possibly choosing the safer route for his comeback fight, avoiding risky opponents that could jeopardize his path back to the top. With both fighters navigating tricky career moves, the boxing world is left wondering what's next. Will Lopez and Haney ever cross paths, or are they heading in opposite directions for good? Teofimo Lopez clarified today that he's not in talks for a fight with Devin Haney, firmly denying the circulating rumors and calling them false. Lopez, who holds a record of 21-1 with 13 KOs, stated he has no idea where the rumor originated but insisted there's no truth to it. Instead, Lopez claims he's looking toward a matchup with Terence Crawford in 2025, though many see this as equally unlikely. Crawford hasn't shown any interest in facing Lopez, especially as Teofimo has struggled in recent bouts. In fact, Teofimo's track record shows 3 challenging fights out of his last 5 since 2021, which has led some to question if a big-name fighter like Crawford would even consider him as a serious opponent at this point. The rumors about a Haney matchup were far-fetched to begin with, particularly given that they stemmed from a less than reliable source in boxing media. Haney, meanwhile, is not expected to take on someone as risky as Teofimo Lopez in his next fight. Haney remains undefeated with a 31-0 record and 15 KOs, but he's coming off a challenging loss to Ryan Garcia and is eager for a comeback that will rebuild his momentum. Haney has his eyes on a rematch with Ryan, as it promises a huge payday and fan interest, unlike a fight with Teofimo, which would bring more risk and less reward. Haney is unlikely to jeopardize his chance for another high-stakes bout with Ryan by facing Lopez, who still packs a punch and could potentially derail Haney's comeback plans. From a business standpoint, a Teofimo fight doesn't make the same financial sense for Haney as the Ryan rematch would, making it an unattractive option. In response to the rumors, Lopez took to social media, expressing frustration and confusion about the reports. "Where did all these rumors come from? These things came out of thin air," he said, dismissing claims of any contract or negotiations with Haney. Teofimo was quick to address the speculation, stating that until there's official word from his team, fans should dismiss the idea of a fight with Haney. Lopez emphasized that people are getting ahead of themselves, as he has no interest in derailing his focus or preparation on false reports. For Haney, too, fighting Teofimo is not an appealing choice. He would rather avoid risking his potential rematch with Ryan against someone as dangerous as Teofimo. Moreover, boxing insiders suggest that for Haney, the smart move would be to seek a safer, less challenging opponent as he works his way back into title contention. A showdown with Teofimo would not only be dangerous but could leave Haney vulnerable to another loss, which would likely weaken his negotiation power in securing future high-profile fights. The only way Haney might consider the Teofimo fight would be if someone like Turki Alaşık offered a substantial financial incentive. Otherwise, it's more realistic that Haney will look for a tune-up fight against a lower-risk opponent, allowing him to rebuild his confidence and stay active without taking on excessive risks. In addition, Lopez's insistence that he's focused on fighting Terence Crawford in 2025 has raised eyebrows across the boxing community. Many believe that a matchup with Crawford is far-fetched given Lopez's recent struggles and the fact that Crawford is on a different level of competition and demand. Crawford, a multiple-weight world champion and undisputed welterweight king, likely sees little benefit in fighting Lopez, who has yet to prove himself as a consistent top-tier fighter in the higher weight classes. The idea of Lopez taking on a superstar like Crawford seems premature at this stage, especially as Crawford is rumored to be eyeing more significant legacy fights in his career. On the other hand, Lopez's desire for these big-name fights shows his ambition to stay relevant and push himself, despite a mixed record in recent performances. Since his standout win over Vasily Lomachenko in 2020, Teofimo has had ups and downs, which have led to questions about his ability to compete at the top consistently. His loss to George Kambosos Jr. and some underwhelming performances have highlighted areas where he may need more development before stepping into a super fight with someone like Crawford. While Lopez has shown he can deliver exciting matches, it might be wiser for him to focus on refining his skills and proving his consistency before seeking out the sport's top names. For Devin Haney, taking a fight with Teofimo Lopez also doesn't align well with his career strategy. Coming off the high-profile loss to Ryan Garcia, Haney's immediate focus will be on a rematch that could generate massive fan interest and financial returns. The first fight with Garcia showcased both fighters' strengths and weaknesses, and a rematch would give Haney a chance to redeem himself and potentially put him back in title discussions. In contrast, a fight with Teofimo doesn't bring the same level of excitement or commercial value, as the general consensus is that Haney would benefit more from a safer comeback fight before taking on another high-stakes matchup. In the meantime, the rumors of a Haney-Lopez negotiation may simply be a product of fan speculation and media hype. Both fighters are at pivotal points in their careers, and each has distinct goals that don't necessarily involve one another. Teofimo's sights are set on building his reputation for a potential showdown with Crawford, while Haney is more focused on maximizing his earnings and visibility in fights that make financial and strategic sense. For now, it seems the talk of a Lopez-Haney clash is just that talk. Both fighters will likely continue on their individual paths, focusing on career moves that suit their immediate priorities and long-term ambitions. In the end, the buzz around a Teofimo Lopez versus Devin Haney fight might just be a tease for now, but it's got everyone talking. Teofimo shutting down rumors and claiming his next big goal is Terence Crawford shows he's ready to aim higher than ever, despite mixed results in his recent fights. Meanwhile, Haney's focus seems fixed on a safer comeback and a potential rematch with Ryan Garcia, where he can score a major payday and rebuild his reputation after his last defeat. This turn of events reveals a lot about both fighters: Teofimo's desire to take big risks against elite talent like Crawford, and Haney's strategy to play it smart, securing his place in the spotlight without unnecessary risks. Whether they meet in the ring eventually or keep carving separate paths, both Lopez and Haney are setting the stage for major moves in their careers. One thing's for sure, fans are watching closely, and if a matchup does happen down the line, it will be nothing short of electric.